everyone, welcome to On's Beer TV. I'm your host, On Mekong, a.ka Beer Lover. Today we're doing a special beer for Miles David that brewed by the Sam at Dogfish Head. And I have a very, very special guest, Mr. Jazzman. Grown and raised in New Orleans, right?
Right.
And how do you become a jazz lover like you are, like famous in New Orleans?
Well,
So famous.
New Orleans is the birthplace of jazz. That actually originated back in the latter part of the 19th century with the city of New Orleans being the place of African retention. African slaves had brought their culture and history with them to New Orleans. And in the aftermath of the Civil War, there was a merging of formerly trained people of color and these newly freed African slaves, which had been allowed to retain their culture and heritage. And then the mixture of the African heritage and the European inset, this is how jazz originated. It started roughly about 1865 and had an incubation period until about 1895, and that's basically when we think that jazz as we know it today originally started in 1895. And since then, it's come a long way. We're celebrating tonight the drink that's honoring the great Miles Dewey Davis, who
Go ahead. 40th anniversary, right?
Right.
Now, I mean, did you remember listen to it when he debuted the record?
I remember the first time it came out. It was a double LP.
Yeah.
And Miles has always been an innovator. 10 years prior to that, he had started a recording that to this day is the #1 selling jazz CD of all times, and that's Kinda Blue. And last year it celebrated its 50th anniversary, and this year we're celebrating the 40th anniversary of the Bitches Brew. In those 10 years from Kinda Blue to Bitches Brew, Miles was always an innovator. From his earlier days with the Juilliard background and the cutting sessions in New York City, he's always been on the cutting edge of music. And 40 years ago, he got together some of the best musicians that were available at the time and recorded this epic release. People like Joe Zawinul, Chick Corea, Wayne Shorter. The list goes on and on.
Yeah.
You can check the credits on the CD, which is available. The new Legacy Edition, which is made up with current technology, the greatest sound that you'll ever hear out of Miles Davis's Bitches Brew. And something else I want you to notice, this is the album cover from the original CD, LP.
Wow.
And if you notice on the bottle, it's the same. The folks at Dogfish Head paid Columbia Records a nice fee to utilize that cover as their label. The beer?
Yes, the beer. Let's talk about beer. So this is a little rock, funk, and jazz, right? Or jazz, funk, and rock?
Correct.
Okay. So I guess that's little, he brewed the same as the 3-part that Miles does, right? Little honey me, right? And then pure coffee stout, right?
Well, this is basically what the beer is. It's an Imperial Stout.
Stout, yeah.
But it also contains a tej, which is an African mead. It's a honey wine.
Honey mead, yeah.
And it has a distinct coffee flavor, which you get from the roasted malt.
And there's something interesting that he put in here too. Is a root from Africa, the gesho root.
Right.
Instead of using hops, using a gesho, which is a bitter root that's kind of take over the bitter hops.
It's a flavoring agent, just as the hops are in regular beer. In this special limited edition, that is the flavoring agent. And
so let's give this beer a little aroma. Let's give it a little smell, guys. Let's do a little aroma. Wow, sweet roasted malt and coffee and chocolate and honey. It's got a little honey in there. Wow.
That's the honey from the tej.
Is that what it is? Okay,
Yes.
okay. Wow.
And we're real fortunate here in Richmond
That's
to
sweet
have.
and a little bit of that sourness. Is that from the test? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Wow.
And the brewmeister
Good
has.
roasted malt, chocolate, coffee. Wow. So here it is. Here's to Miles David, guys. And give the tongue a little treat. Here we are. All right. Cheers, Mr. Jazz, to Miles David 40th anniversary.
Of the recording of Bitches Brew.
There it is. So give the tongue a little treat.
We want to thank An for his ability to get great beers here in Richmond. And he's the only person in the area that's actually got a keg of this beer. And if you haven't had a chance to taste it, hey, we want to recommend it highly.
Well, I think Sam have a show in Discovery, and it's called Brewmaster. So one of the series that talk about Mouse David. So I think on that episode we're gonna tap the keg of Bitches Brew. So, all right. So how does it taste?
Tastes delicious.
Oh wow! It tastes like the album. You got good honey, roasted malt, roasted chocolate. I mean, like chocolate coffee, and a little honey. I think the bitter root. I think that's gesho, right? Gesho?
Right.
Yeah. It was good. Wow. It's kind of like one of those nice albums where you just sit right through that sip. Little funk, little jazz. It's all blended in. Wow, great blend. It's great beer. So what else you tasting here?
Basically, that's it. And nowadays with the push for health,
yeah, chocolate.
they're recommending that you use honey as a sweetening agent in your coffee or foods.
Yeah.
And this is an ideal utilization of the honey. And as I always say, beer is like liquid food.
Yeah. I met you a couple years ago. That's when Katrina. It's just it's a sad story that Katrina came in and flushed everybody out, and it was sad day in history. And I met you the week after, right?
Just about.
Yeah. And growing up life in New Orleans, it just out of your box in Richmond, it's just different, huh?
Well, fortunately, with friends like you and other people that have embraced me, I've been able to continue to do everything here in Richmond that I had done in New Orleans. I'm the jazz director at WRIR Radio here in Richmond. I'm on the board of the Richmond Jazz Society, and I do lectures in the community for the Jazz Society and as a freelance presenter. And I come to Mekong and drink good beer.
Now you told me that you had lots of collection at your house.
Yes.
And you lost all of them, right?
I'm currently in my 35th year of broadcasting, and Hurricane Katrina claimed my entire collection, which at the time approximately had 12,000 LPs, 15,000 CDs, over 500 books, pictures, posters, memorabilia. I'm in my 35th year of broadcasting, so you can imagine all of the material that I've accumulated. But Richmond has been a good fit for me for my renaissance. And I'm real glad and fortunate to be here and to have a good resource for great beer. And that's why we're here today, to let you know about a great beer from the Dogfish here.
That's right,
Brewery.
Miles David. It's all about
Bitches
Miles today.
Brew.
It's all about Miles today. Yep. So do you still constantly go back to New Orleans for the jazz festival?
I'm a member of the Honor Council of the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation. I was on the board for over 20 years, and since I moved away, there was an additional category that I could rotate into, so I still attend the annual Jazz and Heritage Festival. And I'm also affiliated with the Satchmo Fest. That's a festival that occurs in August. It pays tribute to New Orleans' own Louis Armstrong.
Yeah.
And I'm the educational coordinator for that activity, which is celebrated its 10th anniversary this year.
Wow.
And
so nobody knows jazz more than this guy right here, Jazz Man.
Well, I know a little
His
jazz.
name, Jazz Man. So nobody knows more jazz than he does. So there it is. So
I have heard a lot of
Now,
jazz.
so I mean, that's a platinum album, right? So what would you rate this beer would be? Is it up to the level of when he debuted the album? Is it a gold or platinum?
Unequivocally, there's nothing else like it in the world.
Yeah, okay.
And it's
so
a very
there it is.
limited edition. If you happen to go to your
A
favorite
platinum,
Purveyor,
yeah. Just like the album did, about 40 years ago, this beer is the same as a platinum. Is that what it is? A hit.
if you go to your purveyor of alcoholic beverages and you see a bottle of Bitches Brew on the shelf, grab it because it's very limited edition.
Because I don't think there's any left. After the show with Sam on Discovery, I don't think, I mean, the shelf will be empty. Anything about Dogfish will be empty. So luckily, we have some. Taste, guys. Guys, what do you think, huh? Great beer?
Also,
So there it is. Dogfish Head, Bitches Brew with Mount David. So what do you say here, the jazz man? What do we say? Beer is the answer! Yes! Yes!